S is for the S's that have disappeared. H is for house, it's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky 'cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y is for your memories, hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for Emmys. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
Well, all right. Hello, everybody. Hebrew 77 here. And with us tonight, we have Armor Up and rejoining us for the first time in 3 weeks. It is Sagittarically Speaking. All right. Let me get the thing going here. Oh, it's not working. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. I just want to say thank you for the warm welcome. It's nice to see the gang back together again. Woo! And I'm speaking on a new device, so if I sound different, I apologize for that. And I hope everybody can hear me okay. And I'm looking forward to our show. I think we're going to have a great Shifty Sunday. I sense a lot of shiftiness in the atmosphere as of late.
You ain't kidding, brother. Hey, I got to tell you, man, it's good to have you back. I got, we were almost this close from signing your death certificate,
Well, the thought did cross my mind that you guys would be worried about me, but I didn't really. My phone had died, literally, like it was locking up, freezing up, rebooting, doing everything but working. And I don't have anybody's phone number wrote down but I have learned my lesson. I think I am going to go through my contacts and anybody that's of any relevance that I would, if something was to happen where, I didn't have my phone, I would have a list of numbers of people I know to call. So I think that's a good idea for everybody. If you don't have something like that, it can be quite the resource when something like that happens.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. It just, also it brings up a pretty good question also is like, we oftentimes we just chat on here, we chat in hangouts and blah, blah, blah. But what if the unthinkable happens and something happens to one of us? Do we have a plan in place to tell the rest of the guys, to tell the group, or tell generally just everybody that's within our little circle of friends here? That how would we know if something happened to one of us? It's always good to have a good backup plan just in case too, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I realize that this is just like a, it's really just it's not like any of us are getting paid for it, but I still try to hold myself to a certain level of professionalism, nevertheless,
Sure.
So it really is kind of, I really am kind of humbled, and I guess for lack of a better word, slightly ashamed of myself for letting you guys to worry about me, allowing that to happen, and I am truly sorry.
Armor, any thoughts?
Hey, at least you're back and everything was all right. I said it was the phone the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I concur. It does feel good to be back here with you guys. It's therapeutic for me, actually. It's something I actually look forward to doing. I mean, very rarely do I ever dread having to do the show. I'm not going to say I've never been in the show and felt like it needs to wrap up.
Right. I know.
I've never not looked forward to doing one.
Right. I was gonna say for you to there's been times where both I think all of us have had that moment where like, okay, it's at almost the 3 hour mark. Can we wrap this thing up now?
Yeah, or for whatever reason. I mean, you're getting hungry, you're getting tired, you're getting, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, sometimes it's you're just not having your best day, but yeah, I concur, and I'm just glad to be here. Let's move on to greener pastures. I say, what else we got to talk about?
Oh, sure. I'm freaking out a little bit right now. Armor, did you just have your camera on for a second?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to repeat what happened last night?
Well, you never know. That's all
Right.
I'm saying.
I could have swore I saw a picture of Suso smoking just now.
Right.
I'm just playing.
I know.
It was actually candied cupcakes.
Yeah.
I'm just
Boy,
kidding.
where'd that name come from? I haven't seen her in God knows how long.
She actually just put out a video today. She's changed her name a couple times on her YouTube channel, but I am one of her subscribers, and she did put out a video today. I have not watched it, but she did put out a message.
Okay, cool. Well, I have some rather electrifying story to tell you guys.
Electrifying.
Yeah.
All right.
I was saving it for, I did not tell you guys backstage in any kind of
No,
way.
you did not. You said I had to wait to hear about it.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's hear this shocking discovery.
Okay. So, all right. You know how my living room's set up. I'm sure I've shown it on camera before.
Right.
And well, I have my coffee table. It's right next to my lamp, and my lamp is plugged into an extension cord, which is also plugged into my phone and sometimes plugged into my camcorder.
Okay.
This morning, I was doing a video, and my phone was dying, so I went over to charge it. I went and put it on the charge, and for some reason, like I had this tall glass of iced tea sitting on the edge. I won't say the very edge, but sitting on the slight edge of my coffee table was this tall.
I got a quick question.
Uh-huh.
How come you're always living on the edge? Because when you hurt your toe, it had something to do with something being on the edge, falling off an edge.
Well, I guess I'm just an edgy person.
All right, well, keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the cord, I don't know if it was the cord or if I knocked it with my phone or what in the heck happened. But as soon as I got pulled away to set the cord down, that whole glass of tea spilt all over the floor, right where those wires were. And I freaked out. And then I moved my couch out and unplugged it as fast as I could, made sure nothing was sizzling, unplugged it, just yanked it out of the wall as fast as I could, because I was like, man, if I don't do that, I'm going to cause like some sort of electrical fire. And I was very lucky that I didn't get electrocuted at that moment. I did have my shoes on. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but that whole area was soaked. I mean, all those wires, the plug-in, where the extension cord was, all of the hose where the electric whatchamadoodle was. Also,
it was a real catastrophe. I mean, catastrophe. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And worse yet, the glass was broken at the top, like a whole glass come off the top. Yeah, I had to replace my glass And I got to tell you guys something. You may think replacing glass is easy, like you could just walk into a store and go, "Oh, here's a glass that's nice enough to be my glass." But no,
Oh, it was the your glass.
yeah,
Oh, like your special cup, the one that you like treasure, your precious, your 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 majestic imperial goblet. I'm with you.
yeah. I think we all have one of those, don't we?
Yes, yes, we do. At least I know I do. Do you have one of those, Armor?
Not really, I guess.
Have you ever had like a special glass that you just cherished above the others? Just you like the way it held your ice and your drink, and it was just a really nice. You were impartial to this glass over, say, all the other ones in the cupboard.
I do have my travel coffee cup that I like the best, I guess.
All right, okay, that qualifies. But let's hear the rest of the story, Hero. Keep going.
Well, basically, I mean, there was glass. You would think, since it broke clearly in half, that there wouldn't be any little pieces left, but no, there was like shattered pieces all over that area. Not to mention, I got a soaked floor. The side of my couch is soaked, and my the cord going to my phone was ruined. I couldn't. I tried to dry it off best as I could, but as soon as I plugged it into the computer, it was no longer charging the phone. So I had to throw that away. And just to be safe, I went ahead and threw that the extension cord away. So, needless to say, I don't know how in the world I wasn't electrocuted at that moment. I really don't.
Right.
I should
So
have been.
you didn't get electrocuted at all.
Huh?
You didn't feel any tingly sensations at all.
Well, I mean, I feel those all the time, but I don't think
Oh,
it has anything to do with the electricity, though.
Right.
But no, man, it was kind of a scary situation there for a minute.
Okay.
But that's that's
So
my
did you? How did you? Uh, you said you mentioned you had to replace your glass. Did you go out glass shopping?
Yeah, that's what I had talked about. I went to Target, right?
Uh,
And you would think, like I said, picking out a glass would be as simple as 1, 2, 3. But no, they don't have single glasses that are tall enough to fit my manly thirst for iced tea.
right. Or this, and it not only does it have to be tall enough, but it has to have the right amount of density to not be, to keep the things cold without being too thick. And then it has to have a nice strong base so that, when you set it down, it don't put watermarks all over everything all the time.
Well, to keep the long story short, I ended up having to buy a 4 glass set, and I already have like enough glasses in my cupboard. So basically, I got 2 glasses left. I was able to get 2 in the freezer. I'm like, I'll keep 2. I'll keep 2. That's fair enough. So if you know anybody that needs a glass, here's what the glass looks like. By the way, here's the glass.
Oh yeah, you did good. You got your Pilsner glass.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, I would say just stick the other 2 in the back of your cabinet for now, because glasses have a knack for breaking kind of easily, especially if you use like a dishwashing machine or where they get a lot of extreme hot and then cold. That thin glass at the top is known to crack. So you may be using them sooner than you think.
Autumn Leaves in the chat. She said she'll take the other glasses.
Oh, well, there you go.
There we go. Hey, how come I'm not getting any? I'm not seeing anything pop up in the StreamYard, dude.
She's the only one that talked so far. She just talked.
So. Oh, there she is. You know what, Armor? What I didn't know is when you do the PC cleaner, like the C cleaner thing, when you do that thing, you gotta go back in, and every time you let's say you go to an app or something, you have to sign in to everything. So I had to re-sign in the StreamYard. I was out of StreamYard. When it cleans house, it cleans house. Let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah, you have to re-sign in until you remember yourself the first time again.
Hmm.
And actually, when you get a little better at it, if you look, you can uncheck the box that cleans save passwords. But I just let it do it and re-sign in anyway. But yeah, you can eliminate that.
Okay, cool. So do we?
Well, I had I thought you had, the way you were describing the story. I thought at some point in the story you actually got shocked.
No.
Okay. Well, I actually got shocked once. I was probably 17, 18. I was still in high school. And I lived in, my bedroom was the basement. And the basement, you know how basement ceilings, they still kind of have there's not usually drywall, not always drywall up there, but sometimes you can just see the rafters and the boards that go, the main beams that go across the top of the basically the floor of the house, but they're your ceiling in the basement. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I had a lighting fixture
Ooh.
put into one of those base beams or whatever. Okay, and I was I had recently gotten a real leather whip, like the kind the cowboys use. That you snap it.
Whip it. And the shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was down there and I was whipping it, man.
Oh man. Okay.
I was whipping it sideways to 45-degree angles. I was setting stuff up and knocking it down. I was becoming super whip man, I thought I was.
Hey, do I have to set this broadcast not for kids?
You just might want to do that. And,
there wasn't any any kind of kinky dominant.
no, it was just me.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it was just me and random objects getting flung around the room.
Okay. I just wanted to check, Oh, yeah, maybe were you practicing to be Indiana Jones?
Yeah, something like that. And I accidentally took out my light.
Where they get late, so that's much better.
Yeah. I took out the light bulb. I accidentally cracked it on the light bulb on the backswing.
This sounds like something I would totally do, by the way. Okay, go
Right.
on. I'm sorry.
So, well, the lights down there, like there's a switch at the bottom of the steps, and there's a switch at the top of the steps. And it's a lot of times if the person at the top of the steps flips the switch, then down is on at the bottom of the steps. If the switch at the top of the stairs was down, then up is on at the bottom. It's whatever the top is, the bottom is the opposite. So it gets confusing as to whether the light, which way you flip the switch to turn the light on or off. Are you with me?
Yeah, I just wanted to add though, real quick.
Uh,
I don't smash light bulbs with whips. I just smash them while I'm making the bed. Just saying.
okay. No, that's how I destroy ceiling fans.
Right. Yeah, that's how I destroy. Yeah. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
All right. And so so basically I have to unscrew the old light bulb to get a new light bulb in there. But there's no light bulb to hold the screw. So I'm sitting here trying to think of how I'm going to get the old lighting fixture out. And back then there was no Google to just Google like a method or something. It was just, and I wasn't going to go to the library to look up a book on how to remove. And I didn't think to call anybody. Hey, I'm 18 years old. I know everything. You can't tell me nothing. So I came to the bright idea that I would take these needle nose pliers
Ooh.
and open them inside of it and think that that would be able to, as soon as they made contact, I felt the electricity. Bam, there it came. Right into my hand. And there was nobody there to help me. It was just me, and I was being shocked and I was freaking out. But luckily, I literally, what happens is you lose control. Like I was literally paralyzed. Like I couldn't, all my muscles were contracting, but involuntarily. It was the electricity flowing through my body, causing everything to just kind of like seize up, But my knees gave out. I thought I had enough consciousness and self-aware that I knew I had to break the connection. So I was able to let my knees collapse underneath me and let me go. And I hit the ground, and it took me a couple minutes to get my senses back. But I ended up figuring out how to make sure the power was out, and then I used the apple to remove the old light bulb. You just shove the apple up there, and it gets enough of a grip that then you can turn the apple and remove the light bulb.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've tried. I think I tried to do that once when I had a broken, busted light bulb and had to turn the whatchamadoodle out. But I think what I ended up doing was taking a towel or something like a dry rag and turning make sure the switch is off first, of course.
Right.
And then, I did it that way, very carefully.
Does it have to be an apple, or could you use a pear?
I guess a pear would work, or maybe even a potato.
Yeah, that's
potato.
That's what Autumn said in the comments. Potato works. Potato.
I remember in elementary school the first time I saw that whole potato being used as a battery to light up a light bulb. I was like, what kind of black magic voodoo is this?
Get away from me, you Lucifer scientist.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, Saji. How would you like to try the joke on our audience here tonight?
See, I can never tell you a joke, no matter how bad it is, without the retribution being, I have to say it on the air.
Well, you don't have to.
I could just say, why don't you tell it?
Because then if you said that, I would come back with, but you're so good at it.
Yeah, but the only way to get better is practice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but see, while you were telling part of the joke, I was in the kitchen fixing a drink. So,
okay. It's a terrible joke. I don't know why you would want me to say it.
Oh, like I haven't told a terrible joke on here before.
Right. But I mean, if that's what you're considering grade A entertainment at this point in the show.
Hey, this is Shifty Sunday. This ain't the Ed Sullivan show,
Right. Last time I checked, we're not up for any Emmys or anything. Most ridiculous live podcast on YouTube.
There you go. Maybe we're up for a Razzie.
Okay, yeah, we're up for something, that's for sure.
Hey, our only person in the chat wants to hear it, so I think we ought to oblige our only viewer.
She only wants to hear it because she hasn't heard it yet. That's my.
That's some good logic there.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I'll tell it. I mean, we built it up this big, so I mean, just so you're prepared for the let down ahead of time. All right, so a rope goes into a bar, tries to order a drink. Bartender looks at the rope and says, we don't serve your kind here. You're going to have to leave the premises. So the rope drags itself on out of the bar. has an idea. Well, maybe I'll try to disguise myself. He ties himself into a knot, goes back in, sits at the stool, orders the drink. Bartender looks at the rope tied into a knot and says, "It's obvious that you're just a rope tied in a knot. I told you we don't serve your kind here. You're going to have to leave." Oh, well, the rope is so disappointed. So he goes back out. He dusts himself off. He's like, "Man, I really wanted to order that drink. I really would like to have it. Maybe I just need a better disguise." So he ties himself up into a fancier knot, and then he takes that little stuff at the end of the rope, those fibers or whatever, and he kind of rubs his other end of his rope over top of it, and kind of like spikes it up a little bit, frays it up, and goes back into the bar and with his new disguised self. And the bartender and orders the drink, and the bartender says, "It's coming right up." And he does a double take and looks back at the rope. And he goes, "Are you a rope?" And the rope goes, "Nope, I'm afraid not." You guys get it?
Afraid not.
He didn't lie now, did he?
I bet that had him fit to be tied.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. I got to tell you something. That's better than most of the jokes I ever tell on here.
That's true. Yep.
So, what did our person in chat? Did we get an LOL?
You actually made someone else actually talk. So now we have two people, and they both said, one said "ha," and the other one was laughing their butt off. It was funny. I thought it was funny.
Mark Tyus. Welcome, Mark. That's a new face I've never seen before. Well, I'm not seeing it now, but you know what I mean.
You mean a new name?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, brother, your phone's sounding pretty good. It must have a really good microphone on it.
Yeah, it really is a nice phone. It's it's called an LG Stylo. For like a Metro PCS / Cricket / not on a 2-year contract / phone, it's actually a pretty nice one.
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to go to a different screen. Tell me if can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to see because I
was messing with it.
Trying to. I brought up a couple things I was going to talk about, and I had a couple, not jokes, but
not jokes,
but just riddles.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are in the mood for a riddle?
I love riddles.
Speaking of riddles, real quick, I just got done with my Batman trilogy, my stop motion Batman trilogy that I did, and I'm not going to give the whole thing away, but I will say the Riddler's in it. Okay, go ahead.
All right, the Riddler. Well, you could give him some of these riddles to see if Batman and Robin can figure them out.
Well, it's already done, but yeah, maybe next time.
Wait, did you change your avatar? Your avatar is different.
Yeah, it's blue now.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of my images on my phone, so I had to go look one up real quick. All right, so I have cities, but no road. I'm sorry. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. What
I
am
know.
I?
I know what it is. I'll type
Oh
it in
wow!
our chat. We'll give live chat time to answer.
Am I? I got an ad trying to pop up. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, I would never got that.
I love riddles. Hey, JM popped in the chat. They're here, but on the road.
Okay, I know we
Drive.
had. I know we had 10 watching, and there was only 2 talking. Now I guess there's 3 talking, so about 8 of them are lurking.
We love
Well,
her.
what are some of the answers in chat? Anybody got an answer in chat?
Nobody give any answers yet.
Okay. You guys want me to read it one more time?
Sure, read it again for the chat. Give them time to catch up.
All right, I'm trying to get back to it, so just bear with me. I know it was near the top. I had a pop-up ad, and it threw everything off. Oh, here it is. All right. I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. What am I? But I remember I really enjoyed it, and I commented on it. I can't remember what it was about now.
He called in the other couple shows ago, I think it was. Yeah, he did a really good panel discussion.
I can't. I think it would be nice to have him as a guest sometime in the future if he's down for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Autumn got it right. Well, I think she got it right. That's the same answer I put in our private chat.
Mm-hmm.
Map.
All right. So what is that answer?
A map.
Yes, that is correct.
See, I would have never guessed that.
All right. You guys want to do one or two more?
I was going to say globe.
Well, that's pretty. I would have gave you.
That would have worked.
I would have went with that. It's the same thing, just a round version of a map.
Right. Well,
Dirk Wolf said he would come on, so anytime.
oh, cool. Yeah, we that would be awesome.
All right. So what's seen in the middle of March and April that can't be seen at the beginning or end of either month?
Okay, wait a minute. Say that again.
What's seen in the middle of March and April but can't be seen at the beginning or end of either month?
I know this one too.
I think it's a number.
I got ready to put it in private chat, but I don't want to influence Hebrew yet.
Right.
Okay. It could be seen in the middle. I'm thinking it's a number.
Okay, there's my answer.
Let's see here.
I want to read it one more time. What is seen in the middle of March and April that can't be seen at the beginning or end of either month?
Hey, Go-Kart Bob hopped in the chat. He says moon. Autumn's refreshed. She's back, so maybe she can give us an answer in a second. So far, Bob said moon. That's not what I put in my private chat.
Let's see here. Where's Patrick at?
Lorraine Lamore pops in the chat. Her answer is the letter R. That is what I put in my private chat.
That is the correct answer. It's literal. Sometimes these things are just literal.
An N and an R, is that what you said?
It's the letter R.
Oh, okay. It's in the middle, right. Why was I thinking it was a number for some reason?
I don't know, but you were so close. I wanted to give you a hint, like, well, maybe it's not a number, but something like that.
First answer, Autumn, you were right. It was a map. She was buffering. She didn't get to hear the first answer. You was right.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do one more. Okay, this one. What English word has 3 consecutive double letters?
English word?
Yep.
3 consecutive what?
Double letters. Like
double letters.
Like AAOOBB. Not those letters, but that's just an example.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put my answer in private chat.
Hi, Robin Keneally popped in. Welcome.
As soon as I get back to
This one got me so far. I'm had to think about this one. See, that's what I was thinking. Dark Wolf, Mississippi, but they're not consecutive.
Well, that's the first thing I thought of too when I saw the riddle. But
you said consecutive, so they got to be touching each other. They got to be back to back.
Yep.
Because the first thing I thought was Mississippi, and I'm like, well, no, that ain't consecutive.
Oops. No, that's not. Don't take that the wrong way. I said that. But I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong on this one.
Well, I mean, does it have 2 letters, then 2 letters of the same, then 2 more letters of the same?
Oh, I know. How about how about that one?
That don't even make sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then I'm not getting what he's.
I'm going to try that one, but I don't think it's right. I'll put that one in private chat. That's the only thing I could think of that even could possibly work at the moment.
Isn't that a noise?
Yeah, it ain't really a word.
Yeah. Okay, so I see how you're wanting the. Now I see how you're wanting the. Okay, so what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
Howdy, Rain on the Plane. She popped in the chat.
Oh, cool.
Well, you guys want to hear the answer because I don't think anyone's going to guess it.
That's a tough.
It's bookkeeper.
Oh,
bookkeeper. Good one. Good one. I'm still going with what I put in chat. Arg.
I was getting ready to say,
Arg.
I was getting ready to say, isn't that what Charlie Brown used to say all the time?
No, that was Ugg. Hey, Awake Activate in the chat. Welcome.
I will do one last one because it seems like every time I do a riddle, we get more people in chat.
Do one last one.
Lorraine guessed it. She said bookkeeper, by the way.
All right.
Oh,
good job, Lorraine.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right. So a woman shoots her husband, then holds him underwater for 5 minutes. Next, she hangs him. Right after, they enjoy a lovely dinner. Please explain.
This is one of those father is a doctor, and that's why he can't operate on his son, and his son is in the hospital type of deal, isn't it?
I don't know. It could be.
Ring on the plane says clue. I was thinking that, but you're not really doing that to the person.
Oh,
So
does it have to be that he's doing it, that she's doing that to her husband?
Do you want me to read? Let me read it again, okay? A woman shoots her husband, then holds him underwater for 5 minutes. Next, she hangs him. Right after, they enjoy a lovely dinner. Please explain.
Underwater's not in the clue game, so it couldn't have been that. I was just thinking of that. Shoots him, holds him underwater, hangs him.
Let me give you there's a hint provided, so I'm going to give you guys the hint, okay?
All right.
The puzzle aims to throw you off balance with shock, but pay attention to the first verb, shoots. What else can you shoot with besides a gun? There lies the key to the whole thing.
yeah, I figured it has something to do with a picture or a film. When you said shoots, so
Holds him underwater for 5 minutes. Next, she hangs him.
Yeah, I think Armor's on to something there. And I think Lorraine's on to something there. Yep.
Developed a photograph.
Yep.
Yep.
Lorraine's good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's on it.
Man, that's a tough one, too. I'll tell you guys, here's one. Oh, are you done with yours? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead. I want to hear what you got.
Here's one that I dug up when I was researching for my movie to have the Riddler in it. Okay. Dave's father has 3 sons, Snap, Crackle, and
That's easy.
Could you repeat it? I didn't hear the whole thing.
Chat.
Dave's father has 3 sons, Snap, Crackle, and blank.
Hebrew.
No,
that's not it.
Dirk Wolf got it. I got it in the chat too, or probably when Autumn got it.
All right, so what's the answer?
Let me stump Lorraine on that one.
Okay, are you guys ready for the answer?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to read it just one last time, and it should hit you. Dave's father has 3 sons, Snap, Crackle, and
Dave.
The answer is Dave, right?
Yay! Do I get a prize?
There you go. How about a brand new whip? I can send you that. I got one.
All right. Well, then, with you saying that one, it makes me want to tell this one. So I'm going to read one last one, okay?
Okay.
A girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother okay, let me start over.
Okay.
A girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers as sisters. How many brothers and sisters are there in the family?
Okay, now wait a minute. Half.
A girl has as many brothers as she does sisters.
Mm-hmm.
But each brother has only half as many brothers as sisters.
It is half a clue.
Well, yeah, I would say it's a big clue.
I think I know this one.
Is the answer? Can I give the answer? No, I'll wait for everyone else. I'll give my answer in private chat.
So what's the question? How many total children? Is that the question?
Yeah, basically, how many brothers and sisters are there in the family? For the girl to have as many brothers as she does sisters, but for each brother to only have half as many brothers as sisters.
Okay, I put my answer in the private chat. Yep. Awake and Activate said the same thing I just typed in the private chat. Except I typed 3 girls, 2 boys. She typed 2 boys, 3 girls.
All right, you guys ready for the answer then?
Wait, let me give mine real quick. Is the answer 0? Because they're all half
No.
brothers and sisters.
No, they're not half brothers and sisters.
Oh, okay. Well, I asked if one of the big clues was half.
Well, it is, but it says half as many.
Oh, as many. Oops. Man, I'm really not good at this at all.
All right. So do you want me to go ahead and say it?
Yep. So did Cedar. Welcome, so did.
All right. The answer is 4 sisters and 3 brothers.
Okay.
Nah, 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
Say what?
3 sisters and 2 brothers works too. Because the
All right.
sister with 2 brothers, as many sisters as she got, and the boy would have half as many brothers. 1. Oh, it's 3 sisters. Okay, yeah, it does have to be. What did you say? 4 and 3.
Yeah, 4 sisters and 3 brothers. And that way
Yep.
the girl will have as many brothers as she does sisters, but each
Nah.
brother will have only half as many sisters, or half as many brothers as sisters.
Because we're not including the girl. I mean, the girl's
Right.
not including herself.
Exactly.
Okay. Man, that is a good one. Hey, Armor? May I
Yo.
call you Armor?
That's my name.
Would you like to do me a solid and give this room a shout out real quick?
I suppose I could do that.
Cool.
We got Robin Keneally in the house sporting a wrench, Rain on the Plains, Autumn Leaves sporting a wrench, Dark Wolf's Den, Salted Cedar in the house sporting a wrench, Mark Tyus, Awake and Activate with a wrench, Lorraine Lamour with a wrench. Who else we missing? Let me scroll up. JM hanging out with us, was driving, hopefully still driving, and having a safe trip. I know Go-Kart Bob was here earlier. I screwed up a ways. I'm going to go back to the bottom, see if anybody hopped in. I believe that's everyone.
All right, cool. Thanks for the shout out, brother. And let me just say, how many blue wrenches does it take to screw in a broken light bulb?
I don't know. How many?
It takes 1 to screw in to put the potato in the light bulb, and 2 to hold the other guy who's getting electrocuted from unscrewing the light bulb. I don't know. Oh, how about this? None, because you don't use a wrench to screw in the light bulb. Done. Never mind. That one flopped better than disco. What's going on back there? Sounds like you're taking a swim.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just sitting here.
Oh, okay. Rain on the Plain says, I don't need no wrench. I'm fantastic by myself. And there you go. Oh, a pair of pliers. Yeah. How many pairs of pliers does it take to screw in a light bulb with a potato? So, what do we have here tonight? Sagittarically speaking.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm trying to find this article that I thought I had ready for the show, and now it's somehow disappeared.
Do you want me to do what grinds my gears real quick while you're doing that?
Well, yeah, that will be fine. Go ahead.
All right, let me get the graphic up. I've got it in here, Armor. You don't have to get yours.
All right, cool.
I've got it right about. Let me scroll down. And now it's time for. And now it is time for what grinds my gears with heat. Oh, I guess it would help if I screen shared, wouldn't it? All right, hang on. Sorry. Screen share, screen, and where is it? Here? Oh, yeah. Let me make it big. There we go. What really grinds my gears with Hebrew? So, okay, I tell you what really grinds my gears, and I'm sure a lot of us have the same problem that grinds their gears too, is the weather. The weather grinds my gears because it seems like no matter what I try to go out in, it's always wrong. I try to go in a heavy coat, it's too hot. I try to go in a light coat, it's too cold. I try to go out without a sort of rain jacket on, it rains. I get soaked. So no matter what I do, it's always wrong. It's always wrong. No matter what I thought, hey, today I'm going to go out with my light jacket on and it's going to be great. Let me tell you something, dudes. It was not. It was. The wind was blowing like crazy. It was super cold out, and it was just altogether miserable. So I guess the moral of the story is always check the weather before you go out. You know?
Yeah, I don't want to rub it in, but man, the weather has been super nice down here. But we're expected to get a big cold front. I think tomorrow night. Monday night we're supposed to get like down in like the 40s.
Yeah, that's the thing is we've had like 50-degree weather here, and now it was down in the 40s, and the wind was blowing like a crazy man, blowing bubbles out of a tobacco pipe. I mean, that was it was really terrible.
Right. I remember I went for training down in Atlanta when I first hired on with the railroad, and during the day it was hot, and I had brought like a windbreaker, but I left it in the locker inside the main building when I first got there. You know, showed up for my training or whatever, and we were out in the yard moving trains around, you know, moving the cars around and stuff. And they were teaching us how to climb up on them and set the brakes and do all the different things you have to do on the cars or whatever. And as soon as that sun set, it got super cold. Like I was literally standing there shivering. And the instructor guy or whatever, you know, saw me like literally shivering and asked me why I didn't dress appropriately. And I'm like, I brought a jacket, sir. I left it inside because when we first came out, it was hot. So he's like, oh, you guys just take a break. Go get your jacket, come back. But I don't know that I would have survived. I think I would have went into hypothermia.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's weird how weather can be so extreme based on day or night, you know, as far as the temperature is concerned.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. When it's funny, like in the morning, it was like 50 degrees, then dropped down to about 40. So I was like, oh, I'll go out in this light jacket. It'll be fine. No. But
Well,
that,
from what I understand, the weather is even more severe on the moon. Apparently, on the moon, the part that faces the sun, it's like the surface of the moon is warm, like more than pleasantly warm. But on the opposite side, it's like several hundred degrees below freezing, is the way I understand it. So, I mean, I don't know how they how we get away with just, 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees variance, and there's like over 100 degrees variances on the moon. I mean, I realize we have atmosphere and all that, but it just seems like if it's that extreme, that close on an object that close to us, but it just seems like it should be, a little more extreme here than it is. But I'm glad it's not. But that kind of segues me in. Were you done with what grinds your gears? Because it kind of segues me into what I was going to talk about.
oh, yeah, I do have something I want to send Arma, though, real quick
All right.
and see if he wants to read this. I don't know if he does or not. It kind of ties into some of the robotic stuff that you talk about all the time, but it's kind of a good story. Um, let me see if I can share it.
Shout out to Prelim and
I can't share it.
Tobin Schwing. Welcome.
How do you share like an article?
Well, while you do all that, I'll go ahead and do what I got ready sitting here in front of me. Okay.
All right.
So I'm talking about Galileo.
Galileo.
Yeah, Galileo. How's the song go? Galileo. I can never.
Galileo, let me go. No,
Yeah,
we will not let you go. Let him go.
that Galileo. He
Okay.
he was an Italian physicist, mathematician, astronomer, and inventor from 1564 until 1642. That was his date of birth and death, or whatever. It just seems like so long ago, 1500s. I mean, if you think about it, you have the 1800s, all the inventions that came out in the 1800s, and then to go back even further, 1700s, 1600s. This guy here, he was doing stuff back in the 1500s. I mean, he's accredited with several important inventions, including the geometric compass, the thermometer, and the pendulum clock. Although he did not invent the telescope, as he is popularly thought to have, he did adopt it early and drastically improved it. But the most significant thing, I guess, that he invented was the geometric compass. The geometric compass, or geometric and military compass, in 1597, while living in the Italian city of Padua, the compass had two legs, each having 7 proportional lines, joined by a quadrant marked with 4 separate scales. The design helped users perform arithmetic and geometric calculations, including taking square and cube roots. Mind you, there was no such thing as a calculator back then. It also allowed one to calculate interest, draw polygons, and determine the areas and volumes of different shapes. Galileo personally instructed several European sovereigns on the use of this compass. He earned a significant profit from this invention. Can you imagine all the stuff that came into play because of that invention? I mean, it was essentially a complex way. It gave you the ability to do complex math visually, and to visually be able to accomplish math that that you normally couldn't. You know what I'm saying? That you would probably never, you would never be able to 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 even fathom what your interest is going to be on something, or a square root of something. I mean, unless you had like an Ivy League college education back then, I doubt that most people knew how to perform those kind of calculations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems to me like, just generally speaking, on a sidebar here, back then, in that age, and that age of science, and that age of exploration, and the things that people, certain people would think of, it seems like I'm not saying it don't exist nowadays. I'm sure people are still inventing things like new apps for a phone, or a new type of screen for a TV or something. But as far as breakthrough technology and and moments that changed the course of history, it's just weird how that all kind of happened within a 2 to 3 400 year time span, and then it just kind of quit happening. Have you guys ever took note of that? Like, why isn't there been any major? And if there is, how come we don't hear about it? I mean, I know back then when he came out with that, compass, everybody and their brother was probably talking about it. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of getting off on a tangent here. But the other thing that was kind of interesting, I thought, was the pendulum clock. He was intrigued by the periodic motion of pendulums and began publishing serious studies in 1602. He discovered that the amplitude of the pendulum swing had no effect on the period of time it takes to complete one cycle, a property called isochronism. At age 77, Galileo had an epiphany whereby he realized that a pendulum could be hooked to an escape mechanism to create an accurate clock. The then blind Galileo worked with his son, Vincenzio. Can you think of a better name for Galileo to name his son? Vincenzio, bring me my compass.
Yeah.
With his son Vincenzio to draw the clock mechanism, creating the earliest known design for a pendulum clock. Christian Hughes built the first working version 55 years later. But the other thing that Galileo did, like I mentioned earlier, was he greatly improved the telescope. He didn't invent it, but he came up with. I'm trying to get to this part of the article here if I can find it. Oh yeah. Other inventions included a magnification device that made telescopes 20 times more powerful, and a 1 horsepower pump to raise water, an oar placement design for a ship's galley in which an oar acted as a lever against the water. Basically, he helped people not be downstream without a paddle. So, and the other thing that I wanted to make note of is that he was one of the first people who came to the conclusion that Earth was in his mind. He felt that it was for sure a globe, and he was credited for making one of the first model globes of the planet, a first globe model. But when he created it, he actually made two. because when he was using his newly improved telescope with 20 times more power, he got to look in at the stars and the moon and the sun and everything, and he wasn't 100% sure if everything in space was orbiting around the planet Earth or if Earth was orbiting around the sun. Because some of the data proved one theory and some of the data supported the other theory. So he made these two super extravagant globe models of the Earth, one with Earth being at the center of the solar system and all the smaller entities, circling around it, like with little, like you see, like in the, and you may have seen them like in a museum or in a documentary where you have the little bars and then the little thing of the planet and it, being outside, another skinny bar and another planet further out, blah blah blah. Then he made a second one where the Earth, one where the Earth was the center of the galaxy or the universe, and the other where the sun was. We orbit around the sun, and so the reason I mention that is I'm not trying to support, flat Earth theory or anything
I
crazy
was
like
just
that.
getting ready to say you're not trying to prove round Earth or flat Earth.
No, I mean I know that's a war for so many others to fight. I am not in that battle.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that it's one of those things where even back then, going as back as the 1500s, it's okay to just not be sure, to make a model. He was so. I mean, the fact that he made these two extravagant models. They're either one of. If you own those globes, or if you was to have possession of those globes, the value, not just of the work and the craftsmanship in itself, but the value of the fact that he was willing to accept both as a working model and admit that he just wasn't sure. That in itself, and he made two extravagant versions just to cover both ends of the bases. I mean, that in itself, to me, that shows a lot more progressiveness, a lot more ingenuity, foresight, confidence, and because people back then really didn't have a clue. I'm not that we really have a clue now. We just think that we do, but I don't think anybody really has a clue as to what the universe is, the Earth is, the sun is, the moon is. I think we all have ideas. We all have our strong belief systems that help us, that we've formed over years to help us, believe in that to help us come to sometimes to terms of reality of our surroundings. But I don't think any of us really have a clue. And what I really acknowledge the most about that is the fact that he was willing to admit that he wasn't sure, but he was pretty sure it was either one or the other. And I don't know. I just really found that story inspiring, and I wanted to share that with you guys.
It's definitely very interesting how all those many years ago, before they had modern technology, computers and satellites and all that business, how they came up with all this stuff,
Right. And what's so crazy is, I mean, we have all these breakthroughs today in technology. I mean, look at how much computers and cell phones and everything has advanced just in the course of the last 10 years. I mean, if you were born and if you turned 20 years old this year, and okay, we're going in the year 2020, you've lived every day of your life with cell phones, with smartphones having existed, with social media having existed. You've never known a day of life without. You were probably playing a Game Boy at age 5. You probably had your first smartphone by age 12. And you probably had your first laptop by age 16. if you were born in the year 2000. You've never had a day of a life without all that technology around you. The thought of it not existing is dubious to you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure, man.
And I mean, I can't. And to be a little bit older and to have witnessed it coming, I would have never have guessed, that it would have, that we would be where we are today, where society, where the turns have went. Because you think when you look back at old sci-fi, society, technology advances, but so does society. Society gets more evolved. Society become like for instance, let's look at the Jetsons for example.
Ooh,
I mean, they're still your modern day family. George still gets up and goes to work every day, but they and it's really probably not the best example, but you would think that society as a whole would learn how to overcome, with all these great achievements in technology, would learn how to overcome their differences, would learn how to find peace, would learn how to build an infrastructure where there's not so many people sick, not so many people starving. But all the money gets fed into military programs,
oh,
into space programs, into into pharmaceutical, pharmaceutical grants for the medical industry to be able to self-governize what drugs they're going to uh, give you next. But nobody is taking all these advances in the technology to improve our society, and that's the
no.
part where I think everything kind of goes backwards. You would, because I mean, when I imagine like society, like technological futuristic age, I think not only does technology advance, but our society advances. It really is a big letdown to see how it's actually degraded our society in more ways than it's benefited it. And
Maybe.
I'm done with. I mean, I know I'm going on and on and on, just repeating myself, but it really is kind of like, it really does strike me funny. But I'm done with my rant, I guess.
Hey, no problem. I happen to agree with you, and you use a good terminology. You use a good model. The Jetsons, for example, they live in a push button society where they don't even have to walk for themselves. They stand on that walkway, and it's all automatic, no exercise, push buttons for this. Everything's at your fingertips, and that's exactly the kind of society that we're walking into nowadays. It seems like where everything pretty much is at your fingertips, and a lot of things are handed over to you, and it just, sadly enough, it's getting that way. And I do have kind of a short, I won't call it a story, but something I want to talk about. Just today, for example, me and my wife were driving home. We noticed this dude. He kept hugging the line from one side, then he'd go over to the other. And then at one point, he actually switched lanes all the way over and just about hit some guy. And, we were talking about being on the cell phone while driving. And just before that, when we were going to Target to get my glasses, we saw a guy, he was talking on his cell phone. I looked over and there he was right on his cell phone. I'm like, yep, that's how society is nowadays. Cell phones cause more car accidents than drinking and driving does. And it's sad. It's just a sad fact that we have to live with.
And it also, I think it gives us, the modern tech takes us away, ties right into their destroying the family unit idea they've had for decades. But it also separates us from other human contact to a good bit. I mean, we still socialize. We still, like Lorraine said, it's good for stuff like GoFundMe's, things like that. But yeah, the actual human contact, the exchange of real feelings, you know what I mean? Instead of, I mean, you can say anything. That don't mean you mean it online, but it's a little harder to not be who you are face to face with someone else. And hey, to Jenny Pertee in the house, much love. Seen her popping in.
Yeah, I agree, Armor. And you know what's ironic is we have these multi-million-dollar corporate entertainment mega channels, ABC, NBC, CBS. You throw a couple letters together, you know who I'm talking about. Yet, I have no interest in anything that any of them are putting out. Not very little interest in most of everything that they're putting out, with the exception of maybe wanting to watch an occasional movie here and there that may come out in the near future. But as far as like the information that's being broadcasted on the news networks and all that, I would much rather go on YouTube, find a live stream just like the one we're doing right now, or a podcast of three regular guys trying to figure out the world, that I would want to hear some talking head in a $3,000 suit tell me what's going on in it.
Man, I'll tell you what. I know when you said talking head, it kind of I know you were using it as a metaphor for the head of NBC or whatever, a CEO or whatnot have you. But when you said talking head, it reminded me of a dream that I used to have, this recurring dream. And I know it's because we do these lives all the time and we're in other people's lives in the chat and whatnot. But I would have this recurring dream that all of us were together in the room and we were all talking. And I might have heard a little bit of this while I was sleeping, but we were all talking, and it's like we're floating heads. We're just all a bunch of floating like avatars. Like I'm talking to you, like we have our normal bodies and everything. Like we have bodies, but there's our faces. Instead of our faces, we have our avatars attached to our heads. which
That's funny.
It's funny because I know what you look like in real life, and I know what Armor looks like, and I know what Dan looks like, and you guys have seen me before. But I mean, it's just weird because it's like that's all we see when we're in here talking, when we're doing our lives, is we just see each other's avatars, and that's all we basically are, is just a bunch of floating heads.
Huh. That is an interesting dream. And Lorraine's in the chat. I think we are going to open the phone lines. Maybe we can get Lorraine to call in and interpret your dream. And plus, I have recently had a new dream that I wouldn't mind her interpreting of mine if she's up to the challenge.
And also, JM was going to call in hopefully this week or sometime soon.
Yeah.
And talk to us a bit. So I don't know
All
if
right.
Jay's hanging out or not.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we had some really good calls on Taco Tuesday. I had to leave early because my grandpa was calling me, and I was in and out of it. And I'm sorry that I wasn't all there because I had so much going on at the time. But we did have some really good calls then, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, at least you were semi there. I wasn't there at all, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
And now we got Sadie back, and Raven went missing. So
right.
Keep in your prayers.
You guys, you know how I am. I'm not really much of a conspiracy theorist, but if I was, I would say, maybe I just needed to eliminate my competition.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, hope not.
Huh?
Said I don't know. I hope not.
we don't know
actually, I hope she comes back. I'll have to go back and listen just so I can hear, how you guys managed without me.
Listen to him, how you guys manage without me. Listen to yeah, just listen to that. Oh man. No, I tell you, to be honest with you, man, we really missed you, and you were a missing piece of the puzzle, so to speak. You know,
Right. Well, I am glad to be back, and I hope everything's okay with Raven. Maybe she'll be back next week or this Tuesday.
as I said, I think I said this in private. I said she's like a, a female version of you, maybe. Did you think of that?
Okay. Well, I mean, let's not get carried away. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and turn on the phone lines, I'm okay with that. I don't really have any. I had one other thing I was going to present, but let's go ahead and turn on the lines to see if someone calls, and I can save it for later.
Let me see if this is if that's the right number. I've got the number up there on the screen. If anyone wants to call in, if they want to interpret some of our dreams, or they have dreams of their own they want to talk about,
Yeah.
go ahead and call in. My wife had an interesting dream, and I don't know if she wants me to talk about it on the air or not, but I'm going to anyway. They were sitting around, and she had a dream. She was in the doctor's office, and while she was waiting for the doctor, she knows she had a big, heavy purse, and she noticed that at one point it had become lighter. And then she looked over, I think 2 or 3 seats over, and saw a woman, and a woman was using some of her stuff. She had her lip balm and, all that good stuff, and was using it.
Not only did she have the nerve to steal it out of your wife's purse, but also the audacity to just sit there and use it in front of her.
Right.
Okay. Keep going.
So then after she had caught her and stuff, she had said, "Hey, I know you took my purse. I know you took the stuff out of my purse. Give it back," and she had given it. She went ahead and willingly gave it back without a fight or anything like that. And she gave it all back, and she kind of walked out without a fight, which kind of my wife kind of questioned that, and so she goes out to the car, and then she noticed the car's missing. The car got stolen, so
she took the keys out of the purse.
Yep. That's why she did. That's why she gave up without a fight.
Yeah.
She went to the house, and the family was all having a meeting, and the family was talking about how they were going to get the car back, but they were leaving her completely out of the equation. They were leaving her out of the conversation. And so, oh, and also she, in her dream, she was sitting in the waiting room with Will Smith, and Will Smith was there, and Carlton. Remember Carlton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. This is the part where it makes it a dream, right? So, and they were there, and there was something else that happened.
I'd say that's the part that makes it a nightmare myself, but carry on.
Yeah, so it was that's basically, the end of the dream. So it might be just something that's straight up. And I told her what might be is you were dreaming about the family leaving you out because you wanted, she has been taking care of her dad and whatnot, and really things have been getting. I don't want to go into it all the way because it's a family matter, but I will say that maybe that's a sign that you'll have some sort of relief, that you don't have to do it all by yourself. You know what I mean? Or something. It's a sign that something's coming. That's some way or form another. It's going to help you out. You know what I mean? But I'm not a dream interpreter, so we'll let whoever's calling in, maybe they have a solution of some sort. And Jenny Purritt, I hate to hear that. She said she just got her first copyright strike.
Oh, wow.
She said she's doing a show Saturday nights at, let me see what time it was. Screw up here. Saturday nights at 8 Central. She's doing.
Well, I think you're in an exclusive club now. The Copyright Strike Club. You're an official member.
A song clip. Usually, they just give you a what do you call it again, Armor?
Yeah, I get those all the time when I put my music in, but they're not really a copyright strike. At least the ones I get, they're just basically saying you're using their material. They're going to put commercials on your channel. But yeah, as long as you ain't monetized, that's all you get. You don't really get a strike rate. In fact, it says this is not a strike.
Yeah, I got a copyright claim for my last Batman movie that I did because I used some of his Danny Elfman's score that he did for the original Batman, but I always get that. And like you said, we use music all the time in our videos, and that's basically all we got. But if it was a strike, that sucks, and I'm sorry to hear that, Jenny.
Yeah, she said it was definitely a strike. That's weird. Normally, you only get strikes if you're monetized.
Yeah. I got a video taken down actually one time without a copyright strike. They didn't give me a copyright strike, but they took it, they banned it in all countries, basically effectively taking it down because they banned it in all the countries. And I'll tell you what it was the Ghostbuster theme song, but I had played the entire song all the way from start to finish. And I always heard that Ray Park was a bit of a stickler to that sort of song. I'm sorry, Armor, go ahead.
No, I didn't say nothing. We got a call, though. That must be what you heard coming through my mic.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, real quick, before you take your call there, I was looking at the chat, and I saw Rain on the Plains in there. I was going to type, but I'm lousy at typing in the chat. So what I wanted to say is I've been following your channel more, and I really wanted to see that live stream you did I think it was last night, the one with your oldest son. So I intend to watch that here within the next 24 hours, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I've been following your channel. I really enjoyed the gematria thing you did the other day, and I just wanted to let you know that I've been following your channel, trying to catch your live streams. All right, so who we got calling there, Armor?
I don't know. I'll unmute him. You are live. What's happening, caller?
Hi, Ron. Can you hear me?
Yep, you faded out for a second, but I think we got you.
You got me. Hi, Hebrew. Hi, Sag.
Hello.
How are you guys?
What's happening, Michelle?
Not a whole lot. First, I wanted to say about the dream. The dreamer usually will resonate with the interpretation, but there was a lot being shown in that little bit that you did share, with her being at the doctor's office with a very heavy purse, meaning she's carrying a heavy load, heavy burden. And then somebody next to her begins to use her cosmetics, which lightened her purse, but then gave back the cosmetics, and then it's like the keys were taken, but they really weren't taken. Her car was missing, and then the showing up of the actors was a change in role that's going to happen within her dynamics of this. Help is on the way. Others are going to step forward. So her car disappearing means that, somebody else is going to step up to the plate. It was, it's just, and the actors is pretty much what gave away the change of the roles that are going to be, they're going to affect her life in a positive way, lighten her load, and others are going to step forward. So, but like I said, some can interpret dreams, but it's always the dreamer that has to resonate with the interpretation, because they are the ones that are ultimately getting the message.
Well, you know what, Michelle, it's interesting that you would say that, because that's kind of how I interpreted the dream for her when I did it, because the lighting of the load, that was I got that half of it, but I didn't get the why the TV stars were in there. But yeah, that's pretty much. That's pretty cool that you would say that. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, this has been going on with me since, oh my gosh, over 20 years now. So, it's one of the fortes on that Beyond Quantum Healing site that I'm listed on with Candace, the classes that she offers for Beyond Quantum Healing. So, I qualified for that modality also. But like I said, though, it's still got to resonate with the dreamer, because the message is to that individual. And it could be just and also prophetic, because you may actually watch this manifest with the lighting of the load, not being so strapped into going to doctor's appointments and being the sole caregiver. You may actually watch this manifest and be like, ooh, my interpretation was, spot on. And it's nice to see when other people start stepping up and helping out, and with their random acts of kindness, and then allowing the person that you love so much to have some more time for themselves to seek from within and, connect with Holy Spirit, with Jesus, their walk with God, their walk with Christ, whatever they're comfortable with using. God has breathed the very same breath of life in every one of us. That's how we're animated. So, I just thought I'd call in and share that with you guys. And that was it. And I love listening to you guys and lurking. So even though I'm not chatting, I'm lurking. I'm listening. Cool.
Well, thanks for calling in. You know what? That was awesome, because that ties in with what's going on in our life right now. So that's pretty awesome that you interpret it that way.
Thank you. I appreciate but I can't do anything on my own. I've always got the Holy Spirit, is who I call it, helping. I've got a helper. I've got an amazing helper, and I won't give up my helper for nothing. Nothing's going to come between me and my helper.
Amen.
I'm sure Ron understands that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to tell you, Michelle, I've been meaning to get a hold of you as well. There's something I've been wanting to show you. I've been kind of out of it for the past week or so, because I had to get a new phone, but I got your email address. I saw it on your page. I'm going to be sending you something here within the next day or so. Okay.
Okay, Doke. Which email address?
The one on Awake and Activate on your channel.
That's to the Beyond Quantum Healing website. But I'll tell you, though, I respond to those emails the same way. So if you email me through that site, I will get it, and it is private, and then I will contact you back on my panel email. So if the email doesn't match, but I will let you know that in the description bar that it's me.
Right. And I don't know if maybe we can just communicate on Hangouts too. Maybe we can do that.
Absolutely. I love doing that. Ask Armor Up. We've had several conversations.
All right. Well, I'll just get your contact info from Armor, if that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah, he can give you all my my email and all that stuff
All
for
right.
hangouts and things like that. No problemo. All right, I'm gonna go back to lurking and listening. Love you
All
guys.
right. Bye-bye. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Thanks, Michelle. And we do have another caller,
Awesome.
but shout out to Red Shirt Blues. I seen they popped in the house. But all right, Bloomington, we got you. You're live. How's it going, caller?
Good. Hello, it's Lorraine. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, Lorraine?
I'm okay. She had a much more positive interpretation than what struck me about it, but you have to realize it's based on my own feelings as to what I've been through. And I don't know how your wife felt when she had that dream and, you know, the different moments of the dream. How did she feel about it? But the one thing that struck me was that it feels like she's disrespected, that people don't even respect her. They're going into her purse and then taking her car, and then her own family is not even consulting with her as to what she wants done. It's like they're not even giving her consideration to be involved in the process of what to do next. But that's because of, you know, things I've been through, and that's what I noticed about it. This woman had a very good, positive interpretation of it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the thing with Will Smith and the other man is just maybe there's some connection to that, and maybe it's just at some point later that show will be on the air, or someone will mention something, and it'll, you know, be a reminder to the dream. I don't know. I have a Will Smith related story. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I worked with a young woman who had met him once back when he was on his TV show. And she said that he wanted her phone number. Like, she was out at some club or something. He wanted her phone number, but she didn't want to give it to him because he has big ears. And I thought, well, first of all, I never noticed his ears. Like with Clark Gable, I didn't notice his ears either. And I thought, you fool, he has his own TV show. Give the man a chance. And she didn't do that. And she was petite with like an oval face. So she seemed to be like the type he liked. So I thought she was pretty stupid not to even give the guy a chance, you know. But another time I have another story about the Carlton character, the actor Alfonso Ribeiro. I think that's how you say it. Do you want to hear that quick story?
Sure.
Just like a delay. I only hear one person. I lived in LA, and I was in a bar, and I was actually there with a friend who was an actor who was the big fat guy with not the best looking teeth and long curly hair, and not the most like physically attractive person that you could pick, you know. And when he would go to the restroom or go make a phone call or something, other guys would come up and talk to me. And I think they were more motivated because they were thinking, well, gosh, if she's out with this guy, she's got to give me a chance. Well, I swear Alfonso Ribeiro was one of the guys. And I said, well, you look like this guy on TV. And he's like, oh, I know everyone says that. I said, well, what? And he said he was like a prosecutor in Pasadena. And I didn't say, well, show me your ID or anything like that. But I swear it was him. But I was, you know, I was there with my friend, and I wasn't trying to like hook up or, you know, or find other men or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a weird story, I know, but I swear it was him. Anyway, probably didn't expect that when I called in. What other weird, I'll tell you, well, now, one dream interpretation thing that a friend told me once is, he believes if you dream about your old house or the house you grew up in, your childhood home, it's meant to be about your life now or your life in general. And I've had different things happen where I have a dream where I'm back at the house where I grew up. And one of them was, the most strange one was, I was in the, you know, my old bedroom, but it was now an office that I was working in. and and David Letterman was there, and David Letterman comes up behind me and starts hugging me, and I turn and we start making out, and I was like, David Letterman. I woke up going, David Letterman, he's not even on my list. So that was a very bizarre dream. And if you want to interpret that, go ahead. But it came out of left field for me.
Well, I apologize. I had to answer a phone call just then when you was talking, and I didn't catch all of it, but I did catch the David Letterman part, and that's pretty much all I caught. But you guys, Sagittariusly, Armor, you guys want to cover that one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't have an interpretation for it. I mean, David Letterman, of all people, that's just one of those. I mean, I have to assume maybe you fell asleep watching late night TV, and that was what was on in the background, maybe.
No, because I wasn't even in the habit of watching a show.
Oh yeah, well I have no idea then.
Yeah. It was bizarre.
Maybe this. Maybe you felt at that point in your life that you were being interrogated or interviewed in some way, and that's your mind kind of went to David Letterman for some reason. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean,
I don't know, but I know if I ever meet him, I'm going to tell him the dream.
Right? Yeah, that you might want to wait till your second conversation.
Second conversation. But I hope someday I want to meet Will Smith and tell him I felt bad that this woman was so negative toward him because I just felt she was a fool, and I wanted to know that. So hopefully someday I'll get to meet Will Smith and I'll tell him that.
Maybe that woman just maybe that woman just had a strong spiritual sense or connotation. She didn't want to have children with someone that would end up abusing them and turning them bad. Just my opinion.
What abuse? What abuse do you think Will Smith is guilty of?
Oh, all kinds. Just do a little research.
Yeah, his kids are kind of messed up. They did turn out kind of.
Does this? I'm curious about that myself. What is this kind of like the whole Tom Hanks thing? Does it tie in with that?
Well, pretty much they all tie in together with what they do.
Huh.
Where's your source of the info?
Just
You're
research. There's tons of it. I don't have any wrote down.
But research with what sources? Like newspaper articles or personal statements or
just I don't know. Other vids.
Other
you
what?
Other videos. Just look at his children. That should tell you everything you need to know if you're.
Children may not be the most balanced people, having grown up rich and all that, but I don't know that it means he's abusing them. I haven't done research, so I can't say. But a lot of people who work in Hollywood are getting roles because they have talent, and they also are a box office draw. And there's people who are successful, and they're completely nice, good, decent people. I've worked with some of them. So don't think that if someone has money or that someone has success that they must be doing something wrong or they must be
I'm basing it on research, not the fact that he got money. That's what I'm telling you. Just research. I'm basing it on research, not the fact that he has money.
Okay. Well, I don't know what research you're being, and you're not getting into specifics. So
it was years ago. I can't tell you where it all is. I don't have a list. That's what I'm saying. But if you research, you'll find it easy enough. I don't have anything to tell you where it. I mean, that was just years ago when I was researching all kind of stuff that happens to children.
Well, I don't know what's going on with him specifically, but.
Lorraine, I did have a dream. I wanted you to interpret of mine if you were up to the challenge.
All right, one last thing. One thing though, I would feel is if people feel that there's some kind of horrible abuse happening to people, especially minors and children, why aren't they going to authorities and having it investigated?
They are more and more.
You can do that.
They are more and more. Most of them have suicidal tendencies right before they get to testify, unfortunately.
Well, you got to get a test. Then people need to make statements and be recorded on video for a statement so that even if something happens to them, the statement is there. I mean,
if you remember,
well, they do that. Cappy did that, and it didn't work for him either. There's all kinds of videos of him going out Hanks and a bunch of them, but it don't matter.
Who?
Exactly. Cappy. Most people don't even know who he was. He named them all, and he suicided off of a bridge in the middle of nowhere, coincidentally, with two teenagers trying to quote unquote stop him.
Yeah, there is. I know of a really good video, Lorraine, that documents a lot of what Armor's talking about. I don't know if it specifically mentions Will Smith, but it definitely goes deep into the whole Hollywood manager trying to, young people trying to make it, the big break in Hollywood, and then they end up get in over their heads in circles that they never thought even in a million years ever existed. And the parents, as much as their parents are parents, but even parents can be naive in those kind of situations because they see their son or their daughter, talking to a big time Hollywood producer, that everybody gets that so overwhelmed and so overcome with the excitement of this potential success, they stop looking at the details of what's really going on with their kid, and they're letting these producers and directors and these guys, managers, move their kids out to LA, and they're 17, 15, 16 years old, and they're being, and things are going on. I mean, not, and this to say not everybody falls victim to that, but there is a lot of well documented things that out there to look at it that are factual, that aren't just conspiratorial. It really does happen, and it really is sad. And as a society, it's shameful that so many people turn a blind eye simply because they don't want to rock the boat of success.
Well, look, here's the thing, and I don't mean to interrupt you or nothing, but you can, just look at the whole Corey Feldman thing. That's a well-documented, a well-known, well-documented case where Corey Feldman was going to come out and say and testify against some producers and directors and stuff like that, and he was silenced suddenly. He wasn't killed or anything, but he was, you could tell he was coerced into not saying anything, like he was silenced. There's a lot of stuff like that going on in Hollywood that we don't know and don't hear about often because it doesn't come out there because people are easily silenced,
Yeah, he probably could have been paid off,
Right.
That would be a motivation not to say anything, is to, get a huge payout. I know stuff like that does happen. I haven't gone to research and all that, but if people don't come forward and take action, it's not going to change, or it's, Anyway, what was the dream that you had? Was it Sad who had a dream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was me. And I don't know. It's like one of those things where, like, I want to share it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. But I kind of need to give you a backstory, I guess.
You don't
Can
have
you hear?
to. You don't have to.
Um,
It's up to you. But you don't, if you're
well, I
having
kind of
that-
want to. I kind of want to interpret it. I mean, I have my own version of my own interpretation, but I know that you're kind of got a knack for this sort of thing. So since I got you on here, if you don't mind.
Wait, hold on. Are you confusing me with a woman who does do dream interpretation? Because
Oh,
I
so
don't
it's not you?
expert.
Oh, I
No,
must be confusing you with someone else.
I
Then yeah, I'm
know,
sorry.
yeah,
Vivian does that.
Yeah, I'm confusing you with Vivian. I apologize.
that's okay.
That's my fault. So yeah, I'll just save it for another day.
Yeah, I just go with instinct, and I feel like if I have a dream myself, I think about the feelings I have and the thoughts I have. And I've had dreams that I just call fear dreams. And it doesn't mean something's going to happen. It's just like a worry that is expressed in a dream.
Yeah.
So I think when you look at your own feelings of what it feels like it means, that's probably what it means. And
Right.
And I don't think there's like there may be a general symbolism, but I think ultimately it's each person has to just think and feel what it means to them. So sorry you got me confused with someone else.
Yeah, I was confusing you with Vivian. I don't know why. I mean, you don't even sound like her, but
I really it's okay because I really just called in because I thought this was Dan's show. That was fun. I'm kidding. I'll let you go.
I knew you were.
I feel flattered. Thanks for that, but I think I don't think it's quite that.
Yeah, well, you made Heroes Day, so thank you for that.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Thanks so much.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
Oh.
Bye now.
Oh, well. I can't believe you confused her with Vivian. What's going on there, brother?
Yeah, no, maybe you need to have me drug tested.
I think you've been out of it too long, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah. So that's 2 calls right there. That's 2 calls right in a row. That's good, man. What you doing there? Put together a table?
Yeah, actually, something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm going to do one more, and then I'm done.
Oh, okay.
All right, tables all together. It'll stand with 2 legs, right?
As long as you don't put anything on it, I guess.
I'll just lean it up against this wall. It'll be fine.
I got a short story to tell about tables real quick. If you guys don't mind, if you guys
I mean, it seems like everybody's in the habit of asking permission before they share, so you might as well keep it going.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm waiting for that one guy like Armor to one time say, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I would like you to just not share that one thing, okay?"
Right. I don't want to hear it. That's what he'd say. Right, but no, I had a coffee table, and the coffee table was already kind of jerry rigged together with screws and this and that. That it was about a 20, maybe 30-year-old coffee table that was at my grandparents' house at one time, and then I had it back here, and then it was literally on its last leg. But I kept tightening up the screws and kept doing this and that and trying to get, But anyway, to make the long story short, it had already crashed one time that day and flipped totally over. But I figured, okay, this time I've got it. I got it all fixed, got it all worked out. And I put my computer, my old laptop at the time, I put it on there, and I had everything set up, and I was getting ready. I forget what I was even getting ready to do, make a video or watch videos or something. And I went in the kitchen to pour myself a drink, and then all of a sudden I hear bang, and I'm like, what the hell? What just happened? And I walked in there, and that coffee table was flipped over with the laptop crushed underneath it, and that one leg had finally given in. It was inward, you know what I mean, with the leg twisted.
Yep.
It had literally cracked. I mean, it had literally cracked. It was on that one leg, and then boom. And I thought, oh no. So sure enough, when I went to get my computer and rescue it from the table, it had cracked the screen so badly that all you could see, like colors. That's all you could see, like black and green or something like that. It had literally beaten my computer black and green. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it sounds like it got Nancy Kerrigan.
That reminds me. Have you seen that movie about Nancy Kerrigan?
No, I didn't know there was a movie. I just saw when it happened.
Yeah, I think it's called I, Tanya. It sounds
is that a joke, or are you being serious?
I'm being serious. No, that's the actual name of it, I, Tanya.
Okay.
It does sound like a bad Saturday Night Live pun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But
well, Armor, I mean, if you could let us get a word in edgewise, that would be great.
You guys are doing fine. I can't believe they named a movie I, Tanya, though. That's just, my goodness. The lack of creativity is astounding nowadays.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, Armor, you're just talking our ears off here, man. What's the deal?
You know what, though? What he was saying about the lack of creativity, it seems like every movie now is. Remember when movies used to have trilogies, part 1, part 2, and sometimes a part 3. But now we got movies like up to like 9, 10, 11, 12th installment of the same thing.
Right.
And now it's just remakes. You're just remaking everything.
Yeah.
Right. They're talking about remaking Indiana Jones, but they're going to use a woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Sure. Indiana Jones, I'm sure.
Yeah, there you go. Indiana Jones. And it seems like they're doing that with all these movies nowadays. They're remaking them, but they're reversing the roles. They're reversing the genders,
Right. Yeah, you saw that with the Ghostbusters. And then what was the other movie that did that recently? Oh, no. It seems like there was one more.
All of them. There was the Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is.
Oh, yeah, they made her the female.
Star Wars, they replaced it with a female Jedi. I mean, all of them. Just name about any movie.
Yeah, and then, I mean, and then they just take the same plot lines and they just change put a few twists on it here and there. I mean, it does seem like I don't get excited about anything new anymore, hardly at all. From music to movies to, it just don't seem like anything breakthrough, astounding, brand new, never thought of before can exist anymore,
I did see a pretty good documentary. It was on, what the hell was that? The name of that documentary? But
the one, I remember. The one you can't remember the name of. That's what it's called.
yeah, that's how good it is. I can't remember the name of it. Oh man.
So I take it the phone lines are dead.
Alcatraz. I saw
Alcatraz.
pretty good documentary on Alcatraz. In fact, when you were talking about your basement water, it got me to thinking about that's how they had their first and last ever breakout. Is the guys basically dug their way through the concrete because the concrete it had all the water behind the walls, and it was the bars were rusting from the inside out, and then the concrete was swelled it up with water so much that it was actually crumbling. So that all it took for them to do that was a spoon.
Huh.
They literally spooned their way out.
Oh, it was probably damp and chilly, so they had to spoon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Do you remember hearing about that, Armor?
Right over your head, didn't it? Went clean over.
Wait a minute. Chili spoon. Spoon. Yeah, that went over my head, man. What did I miss there?
Nothing. That's all right.
Oh man.
You landed flatter than one of your jokes.
Sanji, what's your take on that?
I don't have one. I'm totally not with it. However, I'm not really. I guess I'm totally different. Totally off the wall.
Off the wall.
Yep. I'm trying to see if I can share the image.
Wait a minute.
Bear with me. Yeah, I want to share this image because they say images speak 1,000 words, right?
Speaks in volumes, yeah. Or what you don't say. Oh, sorry, I'm screwing that all up. What you don't say, your actions speak in values, but you mean a picture is worth 1,000 words, is what you meant.
Right. All right. So if one of you guys could share the image, it's in Shifty Sunday.
Oh, I just now got it.
But
let me go to
when I was a kid growing up, I remember them talking about the space race and that Russia had launched a rocket into space and they were going to beat us to the moon if we didn't hurry up and get somebody up there. Do you guys recall hearing something similar to this?
Yep. The space
race. It was cold in there, so they had the spoon. Oh. I just now got that.
Good for you.
Oh man.
At least you didn't wait till we were off air and you were like, out back smoking a cigarette, like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah. Hey, I think the avatar, the blonde hair on the avatar is going to my head.
Okay. You're all bronze and no brains, huh?
Right. Oh man, that's one of those, you go, now I get it, like 10 minutes later or an hour later. Hey, you know what they say, that I gotta be me.
Right. All right. So
I got the image here.
All right. Hold on. I'm not quite ready for it yet. I'm almost there.
What do you mean? You got another one?
Well, I wanted to no, yeah. Okay, so it was July 24th, 1969. Can anybody tell me what happened on that day?
Well, supposedly there was a rocket launch to the moon, right?
Yeah, Apollo 11.
Right.
You know, Neil Armstrong, one small step for man, one large step for mankind. But did you guys know that Russia?
Wait.
What? But
Sorry.
Russia. Did you guys know Russia actually beat us to the moon?
No. What?
Yeah, Richard Cavendish. Oh, never mind. Richard Cavendish. September 12th, 1959, the Soviet launched Luna 2, the first spacecraft to successfully reach the moon. And I shared with you an image. That image of that spacecraft, it flew to the moon. Yeah.
That thing?
Yeah, it's called Luna 2. It helps you get better television reception, and it can travel to the moon.
Yeah, that the television reception I'll agree with.
Because back then everybody's TVs had something like that on top of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember us having the antenna. Yeah. This thing looks like something that Hanna-Barbera would draw for one of their cartoons. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I know, right? But anyway, the Russians at first took a commanding lead. Their program was directed by Sergei Korolev, a brilliant astronautical engineer, an expert on rockets, who had displeased Stalin and spent time in Gulag in the 1930s. He was a commanding figure who did not suffer fools gladly, and his staff treated him almost as a god. In the 1950s, he developed a massive and, at the time, almost unthinkably powerful rocket, the R7, which would propel that little thing there you see in the image to the moon. But for some reason, I don't have any recollection of Russia landing on the moon first. But according to official history, that's what happened.
That was the whole big deal as to why we were doing it, so we could beat the Russians. And then when they, quote unquote, landed on the moon, that was the whole celebration. That put the icing on the ice cream cake, so to speak,
Right.
Well, actually, that always was classified as the first man on the moon. And maybe that's why they classified it that way.
Oh.
Yeah. Still, you can get lost in the details. Yeah. But I just don't recall anyone ever landing on the moon, period. But, maybe it slipped past me. I was sometimes paying more attention to Jenny and her pretty sweater than I was the teacher at the head of the class. So.
Because that's unmanned, obviously, right?
Yeah, it's unmanned.
Oh, okay.
And Rain is on the phone, so just so you know.
I thought maybe it looked like something that maybe a little monkey could fit into, but I guess, yeah, it's,
It says here that while Americans were in disarray with their space efforts publicly failing, the Russian setbacks were kept strictly secret. Korolev went on to put the first man into space, Yuri Gagarin, in 1961.
Right.
And then in 1963, he propelled the first woman into space, Valentina Tereshkova, which enabled the Soviet Union to make propaganda mileage by claiming that under communism, women were treated equally to men. And then after 1961, under President Kennedy, American efforts intensified while the Soviet program suffered from infighting after Korolev's death at 59 in 1966, following an operation that went wrong. the Luna program continued, and in 1966, the year of Korolov's death, Luna 9 made its first soft landing on the moon. But in the end, of course, the Americans who won the race in 69 with their astronauts first walked on the moon. For all the years of rivalry, the viewing room in Russia burst into huge applause as Neil Armstrong took the first steps. So they all were happy for us when we got there, I guess, at least publicly anyway.
Right, publicly. But in their privacy of their own living room, though, the Russians were all laughing at us. But
well, they're saying those darn Americans, rah, 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 rah.
Right. That's exactly how I picture Russians talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
me too.
Were you guys aware that there's an Andy Warhol museum, little mini museum on the moon now?
Huh?
Say again?
Is that
I know
name on the plane?
because I didn't know about it until like a few months ago. But are you aware that there's like a little Andy Warhol museum up there now?
I did just recently hear about that, but it was the first I ever heard of it too.
Do you know what that sound was, by the way? That was the sound of my, that was the sound of my mind blowing. It just blew up.
your mind blew up with the Andy Warhol museum. No, seriously, it's freaky. SMQAI and Chick discovered that, and it's pretty interesting to say the least. I mean, that's where
I heard it. I was listening to his podcast. It was just last week, wasn't it?
Oh no, they talked about this quite a few months ago. But what I'm saying is that never happened. I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like a little Andy Warhol museum on the moon now. I mean, come on. I mean, what kind of reality are we living in? It's just so bizarre. It's bizarre.
Yeah, fill us in on the details.
Here, hold on.
Well, I don't know all the details. I just know that there's like a couple of his artwork up there on the moon now. And then also, did you guys know like about how China went to the other side of the moon and all that, like the dark side of the moon? I mean,
I always thought that China was the first to go to space, is what I always thought. Like,
wait a minute, how did Warhol artwork get on the moon? Who put it there?
Well, it must have been through the Americans, I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. I just know that there's like a couple little artworks of his on the moon now, and it's just freaking ridiculous. And then also the whole China thing going on the the dark side of the moon is interesting. And then also now what you guys were talking about is, now wait a minute,
I thought
you were saying earlier that Russia went to the moon, because that's not true at all, or at least in my memory it was.
Well, that device landed on the moon. They landed that device on the moon, but not a human.
Okay. All right. Well, let me look it up. Andy Warhol moon. Let's see here.
And then the thing with China, that was supposed to happen.
SMQAI are the ones that were talking about this.
I thought Pink Floyd.
Andy Warhol moon. Let me just look and see.
I thought Pink Floyd went to the dark side of the moon.
Well, they wrote an album about it.
You mean that didn't actually happen? I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding with you.
Well, I found some stuff, but I'm not sure exactly what to. 2 screen prints are on the moon. The making of a moonwalk. I'm not real sure. Let's see here.
I remember hearing about the China one, and apparently They said they were going to take images on their way to the dark side. They were going to try to film or capture the flag that we left there, that Neil Armstrong left on the moon, that they're going to try to capture an image to either prove or debunk whether or not it's true we actually landed there.
There's like a moonwalk where he did artwork.
Rain, can you not hear Saji?
I'm not finding where, and I know that there's stuff on the moon from Andy Warhol. I know there is. I just, because I looked it up earlier, but like a few months ago, but I can't find the specifics now. Let's see.
Are you using Google? Like, use a different search engine, because Google sucks for that kind of stuff.
There's some interesting stuff, but I don't know that it says that it's on the moon. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Can you hear us? I don't think she can hear us.
I think we lost her.
No, she's
Can you
still
hear me now?
Yes,
Can you guys hear me?
She can't hear us.
This is going to be too. Can you guys hear me or not?
We hear you, but can you hear us?
I can finally hear you. I didn't hear you for a good while, so I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I can't find it exactly. I'm looking now. He has some artworks about the moonwalk and stuff like that, but I don't see where it's actually on the moon. But I know that that's what they were saying, and I know that I found that quite a while ago, but I can't find it now. And this art is actually pretty awesome. Andy Warhol is an interesting individual.
Yeah, I'd like to know how they supposedly got there. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. But anyway, it's supposed to be on the moon. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't find it right now. And I can barely hear you guys. I may have to get off here. That sucks. I wanted to talk.
Can you hear me can you hear me at all now?
I can hear you. It's just really soft.
Well, I wanted to ask you this because it's the thing with China that was supposed to have happened at the end of last year. Did it actually take place? Do you know? Did they successfully land on the dark side?
Yeah.
Because part of the mission that they claimed they were going to do when they went was they were going to try to photograph the original landing site of Apollo 11, where they stuck the flag in the ground that magically waves with no air, and they were going to document whether it was actually because it's documented what part of the moon they landed on. They were going to take a photograph to show the flag there and the footprints and the leftover stuff that they left behind. But did they ever? I guess they never actually followed through with that.
Well, I thought they went to the dark side of the moon. I thought they went to the opposite side.
They were, but on the way there, they were going to take an image of as part of their route. Was one of the things they were going to do was prove that we were there once before, or prove that we weren't, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? They were going to photo document that landing site to show us what it looks like today, basically, if there's any evidence of when we were there, which it should still all be in the same condition, you would think.
Right. I don't see anything on that, but I do see some information about what they found on the quote unquote dark side of the moon. Found a strange shiny gel, they said, and then it's got some pictures here. It's interesting. I need to do a video on this because it's very, 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 very interesting, and I would like to see if they did take pictures of the stuff that we had, because I'm skeptical as many people are, whether we've ever been to the moon or not anyways, but
Exactly. It would just be nice to have some type of, one way or the other conclusively.
well, the thing about it is that, I mean, they, they have all this information and stuff, but then supposedly they lost it, And it was because I was telling my sister and brother-in-law, about how I was skeptical about how they had ever been on the moon. And they went and they were in Washington, D.C. And this was years ago. I can't remember exactly. Well, actually, it would have been the year they got married, I guess, because that's when they went. So that would have been, that was a long time ago. My gosh.
Get off of here. Get off of here.
What year it would have been. But anyway, they went to the Smithsonian Institute or institution, whatever you want to call it. I still call it the Institute.
Same here.
And they said that they had lost the pictures, and then because they were skeptical of me, they were saying, what do you mean we never landed on the moon, and then when they went to the Smithsonian Institute and they had quote unquote lost all the pictures and all the stuff about it, they're like, there's might be something to this, so it was it's quite funny. But yeah, that must have been about around 2010, something like that.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to follow up on it too and see if I can find out more. I'll give you guys a full report later.
Rain on the Plains. I would like to have you on as a guest sometime in the near future. Maybe if we do a Taco Tuesday show or something like that, would you be interested?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I just, shameless plug. I want to just say that today and yesterday, I had both of my sons on individually on 2 different broadcasts. And it just might be interesting because, they have they're both Emmy'd, but they don't really care necessarily. And they both have different ideas about it. And they both were taking updates, but also shocked at certain Emmys that we were going over live on air. And so it might be just kind of fun,
I don't know if you...
And I wouldn't do that except for it was my son's. And it was just kind of a really fun couple of broadcasts for me because they were my kids. And they're 24. It's actually my little one's going to be 25 next month, or this month.
Well, I'm definitely going to check them out. I don't know if you heard me earlier when I made reference to that.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. But yeah, no, I would definitely love to be on anytime. I can be pretty flaky though, as far as when people ever ask me to be on, sometimes I'll say I will, and then it's not because I don't want to come on, it's just that stuff happens, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so, but yeah, I would definitely love to be on sometime.
Cool.
Well, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm wrong, Taco Tuesday, we do it every Tuesday.
Yeah. Your assumption would be correct.
Well, I'll look. Just send me a link through my email, rayontheplains@gmail.com. And then, and then that way we can go from there. But my gosh, what are those colors? That's awesome. That's weird.
I was just messing with my camera. I got my big banner back there, but you can't quite tell it's my banner. Bummer.
But anyway, I can barely hear you guys, and so I'm gonna get off here and let somebody else call in if they want to. But yeah, I would definitely love to be on a Taco Tuesday. Just email me the link at rayontheplains@gmail.com, and hopefully I can get on. But I would love to. That would be great.
Awesome. Well, I would look forward to having you on. And so that's rainontheplains@gmail.com. Wow, that's cool, man. How did you do that, Armor?
That's my big banner I bought at my store thingy. I bought
Oh,
like a big banner.
That
It's
is
on my
really
wall.
cool. Those colors are awesome.
We're just messing with the
But I can
Christmas
barely hear you
lights.
guys, and so I'm gonna get off here and let maybe somebody else come on or whatever. But I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in about the Andy Warhol thing, and I guess I need to do a little more investigation on it. But Chicken SMQAI, they're the ones that said it was on there, and then I've looked it up myself too as well, but I just don't have the proper links to to show or have evidence about, and so I'd rather do that some other time, I guess, so where I'm more prepared or whatever, and then also on the China thing and some other stuff. But anyway, it was great talking to you guys. I'm gonna get off here, but love you all, and you have a nice evening.
okay. You too.
All right, bye.
All right. Awesome. That'd be good. So I guessing that's Rain on the Plains, all in one word, I'm guessing. I forgot to ask her. Oh. Hey, where did you get that banner again?
At the Teespring thing.
Oh, cool. Man, I gotta get me one of those. What kind of lights you got on there? That's kind of cool.
That's one of those lights that goes outside for Christmas. We're
Ah.
just testing it out. So I was like, hey, this would be cool.
Yeah.
You got to put it out in the yard. Like shines on your house.
I got to get
wherever you put it on.
I got to get my Christmas lights up. I meant to do it the day after Thanksgiving, but it's been raining 3 or 4 days in a row here, and I haven't been able. I ain't trying to put Christmas lights out in the rain. Just saying.
It's rainy and drizzly and nasty all day here too. That's why they're still in the house. But yeah, miserable lately.
But I've actually got a neighbor, 2 houses over I have one across the street that has lights like you've got there, but I've also got a neighbor down the street. She's got all the blow up, Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman and all that stuff.
We got an awesome blow up nativity scene. Can't wait to put it out there.
Oh man, that'd be cool. You know what? Why don't you when you get it up, all put up, maybe like do a short video or something like that. I'm sure people would like to see it.
Yeah, once we get everything up, it'll be awesome because most of it's outside and we need to do something out around the pond. I had to see how long my cords are because I was thinking if I put that light that's shining on my banner clean out on the other side of the pond pointing towards the house, it would just light up the whole area. You know what I mean? I mean, that thing spreads out everywhere. So it would be pretty awesome. So, yeah, we'll have to see how I get it all set up.
But I'd like
activity scene's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool.
I've never done one of those before. I don't know where to get all the material and all the stuff from. I guess, huh?
I never did one either, but we got these at a big yard sale earlier last year when we were still working. And so yeah, it would be the first time we ever had to blow up one.
Cool. Yeah, I always wanted to put one up, but I never. It's like, those things can be costly too, and maybe I could find one at a yard sale or something like that. Not the blow up ones, but I'm talking about just a regular nativity scene. Just the statues and all that stuff.
Yeah, I try to collect them if I see them. A long time ago, my wife got one. It's all like penguins and polar bears because she's always been into penguins. But it's like a nativity scene, but it uses like an igloo and penguins and polar bears, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, we got some pretty neat nativity things.
Yeah, that neighbor lady, She is always decorating for every holiday. Any holiday that comes out, you name it, she's got her decorations up about a month ahead of time. And like I always try to do my Christmas decorations like the day after Thanksgiving or a couple days after that. Especially this year since it was on the 28th towards the end of the month. It's like you have that stuff up, you go through all the work of having that stuff up, and then you're only having it up for 25 days or whatever. So I try to start it early so I can just have it up. It looks nice, and it we like to have our Christmas tree up. My wife likes putting the Christmas tree up early because she likes having those lights on at night. It's something nice to look at, and it kind of brightens up the mood a little bit, put you in a.
Yeah, I always loved the Christmas lights. They're pretty. And the grandkids will love it when they come. My wife just made a stocking for the one granddaughter. It lights up even. It's pretty cool. Where's that thing at?
Huh.
Light it up there.
Let's see it.
Yeah, I had to get it. Let's see if I can put it on the camera. It's pretty neat. Hey, there went my woman in the background. Hun, you're famous. They can pause that and get your profile now. You're done. They're going to roll in on us.
No, I'll tell you what, man. Something I was going to add to that. Does your grandkids, do they make their own ornaments at school and stuff and whatnot? You there? Oh, he went to get the thing. Okay, I'm sorry. What about you, Sadji? Do you remember having to make ornaments during arts and crafts as a kid? Oh, he's muted up too. Oh, neat.
I'm here. Yeah, I remember making one out of macaroni.
An ornament?
Yeah, like Elmer's glue and little enriched macaronis, like in like different pastas, and then you basically glue it all together, and then you paint it and make little stars and shapes. Yeah,
we missed Armor displaying that stocking.
the thing with I remember when tinsel was all the craze.
Really?
I don't know if you ever had a Christmas tree with tinsel on it.
Oh yeah,
that's always the best part. They're on it.
But you don't see that so much anymore, or like you used to anyway.
We still have. I think we still use it. We use mostly, I don't know what you consider tinsel, but we use what do they call that stuff that goes around, drapes around the
garland.
Yeah. We use that, but
it's kind of like tinsel on a rope.
Yeah. But I know I still my sisters when they were little, and we still have their ornaments that they made. My grandma puts them on the tree every year, and I don't even remember having an ornament that I made in school, but I remember everyone else having ornaments that they had to make in school.
I got all kind of cool ornaments that my kids made in school, and now my grandkids. And plus, with my sublimation stuff I do, I can make Christmas ornaments. So my daughters, well, a lot of them got lost or in the mess of life, but I used to make an ornament with the grandchildren on it, their first Christmas, second Christmas, third Christmas, with their actual pictures on it, the dates and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Something my wife likes to do is she decorates the tree with all candy ornaments, like For example, you have like a Hershey bar ornament, and we have like cake ornaments, cupcake ornaments, food. She likes to decorate it with food ornaments. And I'll tell you a little something funny is my daughter had, they're sort of like Lego guys. They're called, I think, Playmobil or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Armor, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you saying again? Maybe it just went over my head. What? Repeat it.
It's kind of like you ever heard of the toy Playmobil?
Play mobile, yeah.
Mobile. Yeah, mobile, sorry. Well, I had bought her some of those toys, and my wife said she had taken one of the little guys and took like a string or something and like hung him in the Christmas tree, and she didn't even notice it until later. She's walking by the tree, she saw that that little guy hanging there in the tree. She's like, "What the heck?" And then she pointed it out to me, and I looked at it, and I had to laugh, and I turned to her, and I gave her a look, and she gave me a look. She's like, "Yeah, she's definitely your daughter." I'm like, you know, something I would definitely do, you know.
That's awesome.
All the ornaments we use on our trees all handmade.
Yeah, the best ones are the ones that your kids have made or your grandkids or something like that, or that that brings back a memory of a Christmas that you've had together versus some shiny one out of a case that has no meaning at all.
Yeah, a lot of them. My aunt that raised me, that passed away, she made a lot of them, and the star we put on top is one that my brother Jed made a long time ago when he was still in school. We still use it on top of the tree. Plus, there's ones our kids have made and grandkids. Yeah, I like it.
When you live by yourself, in my particular case, I live by myself, and I'm all the way down here in Florida. My brother lives about an hour away, but everybody else in my family is all the way up north, like in Cincinnati or Ohio or Indiana. And it's really hard for me to get into the Christmas spirit, even more so than it is usually. Not that it's not usually that I'm all like Mr. I would say I'm like so extreme as I'm bah humbug, but I just don't. I just don't get into the Christmas spirit. Like, I don't feel the want or the need to decorate or to listen to holiday music, Christmas music. I need to try to get myself more in tune with that, because I do think that there is something about how Christmas kind of the fact that it brings people together, that it brings your family together. Even families that rarely talk to each other on a regular basis still almost always find time, at least for Christmas, if not Thanksgiving, to get together. And that in itself is what makes it so worthwhile. And it makes me realize how much I don't have or what I'm missing out on, because I know up north they're all going to get together. They're all going to have a dinner together. They're all going to celebrate Christmas as a family. But unfortunately, when I get to take part in it. So it just, I don't know. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer or anything, but it's just really hard for me to get in the Christmas spirit knowing all that,
Does your brother go up there? Wouldn't he like take you with him or something?
I mean, I might end up going over his house and I'll get to have, a Christmas dinner, an actual plate in front of me, and spend time with his family, but it's not the same as being with my kids and grandkids, and you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. But it seems like in my family, well, we have good sized family, but I mean we're all together and stuff during the holidays. But it seems like holidays and tragedies bring families together. And unfortunately, more or less, it's the tragedies that seem to bring them closer together than, say, for example, a holiday or like, a family get together. It's always someone either has to die or be in the hospital or something like that, to bring them all together. And it's very unfortunate but it is that way,
Yeah, very true. The last time that I saw my whole family together was at my mom's funeral, and it might end up being the last time that I end up seeing some of them at all.
Yeah.
So there's some of them are getting up there in age. So yeah, it is true. But let's switch directions here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it lively, not bring us down.
Yeah, don't bring me down, Bruce.
Nope, not bringing you down.
Isn't that how that song goes? Don't bring me down, Bruce. Whenever I sing the song, I always roll the R when I say Bruce. I don't say just Bruce. I go, don't bring me down, Bruce.
All right.
You know what song I'm talking about, don't you?
Well, elaborate just in case.
I don't know the name of the song, but it's like it just says that chorus, don't bring me down, Bruce. Can't get you up on the floor. You got something and out the door. Don't bring me down. Do. Never mind.
Okay, I know it now. I know the one you're referring to.
Do you
It's
really?
an 80s song.
Hey, how come
80s or 90s.
Armor, do you know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How come Preliminals picture looks like Conan O'Brien? What's going on there?
It's like a Van Gogh of Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm talking about?
No, but I've seen his YouTube page, and I know if he's using the same one that's on his YouTube page, that I know the one you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. ELO Electric Light Orchestra. Oh, Electric Light Orchestra. Okay, that's who does the song "Don't Bring Me Down." But who the heck is Bruce? That's what I want to know. I want to know the story behind the song. Like, what's he doing to bring them down? That's what I want to know.
Right.
It's not Bruce.
Wait a minute. What now?
Oh, you crack me up, brother.
Yeah, but see, I always roll my R when I say Bruce. Like,
I always wondered if that other guy ever got with Jesse's girl.
no, I don't think so. I think because
Yeah, I know.
Jesse's girl. Did you know that there's a that was Rick Springfield, right?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the South for the WWE. I don't know if you remember Mouth of the South or not.
Yeah.
But he did a song that was something about, he said Rick Springfield. He was talking about Rick Springfield. That's what I meant. Not Bruce Springfield. Rick Springfield is who I was trying to say. Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
I didn't do it, I swear. You hear the sirens?
I wonder if Ricky still got that number. That's what I wonder.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I mean,
And have you ever called 867-5309 just to see if anyone answered?
I'd be afraid to. Remember that 1-800 number you were talking about? He said, I was gonna text Armor. He said, "What's his number? 1-800 Armor."
No, you asked me what's his number. I said it's 1-800 Armor Up.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. 1-800 Armor Up. I said, I wonder what you would get if you called that number. Hey, Arbor, you don't have a hotline, do you?
I don't
Not
know.
that
Let's somebody with an extra line. Let's call it. Let's see what happens. Let's do it
I don't
live on the air.
I don't have a hotline for the earthly things. No.
Can you dial out on the Uber thing?
I don't know. Now you're pressing my knowledge. I just know how to get it to take calls.
Okay.
I could call it. Hold on, let me get my phone. This is gonna be funny. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're doing this live, people. This is how you know.
They call me Robin Keneally says you remember the movie They Call Me Bruce. That was one of the greatest movies of all time. I love that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
That movie sort of blows my mind. It's almost like a Mandela effect possible movie to me.
Yeah.
I swore that was Jackie Chan. And now it's just like a nobody.
Right.
And that sort of blew me away when I went and rewatched it because I loved that movie when it first came out. And I was like, I'm going to watch that old Jackie Chan movie, They Call Me Bruce. That was awesome. And I went and got it and was like, what the heck? But that was way before the Mandela effect. But now that you mention that movie's sort of weird to me. I could have swore that was Jackie Chan.
Well, I mean, I wasn't. I don't know about the Jackie Chan thing because I don't know that I even knew Jackie Chan back then. Like the first movies I think of with Jackie Chan are like
his biggest movie because he does all them funky. I mean, he'll whoop your butt with a ladder, with a chair, with a table.
Yeah.
And exactly what Bruce does. I mean, it's the perfect Jackie Chan role, and I know that was his first famous movie, but now it's just a dude you never even heard of before or since.
Yeah, but the movie is trippy just in general.
I like Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah, Rumble in the Bronx was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of my favorite movies, that They Call Me Bruce.
They call me Bruce.
It's very weird. Very weird for me.
All right, so are we calling them now, Hebrew?
Here's the thing. I don't think it's enough numbers.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
ARM.
Yeah. You dial 1-800.
I got it. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I can't believe I'm doing this. What if it's one of those well, never mind. So here
let's just call it and find out.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this
on the East Coast and it's midnight.
We're gonna do this live on the air. 1-800 Armor Up. Okay, this is your personal number here. No, I'm just kidding.
Be ready to hang up quick because you never know what you might get. Life
act like you're a radio station and you're calling to see what 1-800 Armor Up is.
Yeah, just tell them their car warranty ran out. They call me all the time. I ain't ever had a car warranty in my life. Just tell them their car warranty ran out and they want a Visa card.
Okay, so here we go. I got it all dialed in. Now I'm gonna try to ring it. Okay.
All right.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Oh, I got to put it on. Come on, dial it. There we go. And
welcome to America's hottest talk.
Oh, no, okay, yeah. Oh no. Oh boy.
It's a different kind of armor there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know you had a hot talk line, did you? Oh man. I think we should end the show on that note.
That's as good a place as any.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Excuse me a minute, gentlemen.
That took me back to like when I was like, I don't know, 14, 15 years old. You'd be up late at night watching TV later than you were supposed to be, and those commercials would come on for the hotlines.
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore. I don't know. I mean, they don't advertise. At least I don't watch TV. Maybe they do, but
I think they still do.
okay.
But I remember watching Up All Night. Remember Up All Night with Rhonda Shear, and then that one
Yeah.
time it was Gilbert Gottfried. Huh?
Yeah, and what was the one with Elvira?
Yeah, Elvira. That was a good one. I don't remember what the name of the show. It might have just been Elvira. Do you remember that, Armor?
Yeah, I think it was just called Elvira.
Okay.
But that was interesting for sure. I mean, you never know what you're going to get when you're live. So there we go.
All right. Well, you want to give them one last shout out? I saw Oiler Greg had popped in there. I don't know if you caught that or not. Don't know if he's still in there.
Yeah, he talked a little bit. So let's give this room one final shout out.
Alrighty, we got Preliminal, Sporting the Wrench, Robin Keneally, Sporting the Wrench. Screw up. They're the only ones been talking lately. They're in Hawaii.
Yeah, it seems like they've been busy.
JM had to go crash. They were hanging out with us for a while. Wake and Activate had to go crash. She was hanging with us and called in, of course. Of course, Lorraine Lamour was here and called in. Salted Cedar. He was lurking and listening, sporting his wrench. Oiler Greg, as you said, was also here earlier. Jenny Pertee was here earlier. Eddie Von Keen, the real one, popping in, sporting a wrench and roaring like a lion. I think that's everybody.
Eddie
Wise Esker popped in to say hi.
All right, awesome. Eddie Von,
and have a great evening. Good show, guys. Glad to see you back, Sadie.
Eddie Von
Now
Keen.
gotta find Raven. Gotta find Raven now.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And who knows? Maybe it's a phone issue. Seemed like everyone's having problems with their phones here lately.
Keep her in our prayers, and we'll see what happens when she gets back.
Yep. Hope she makes it back. And I want to thank everyone in chat too that showed up today and for supporting our channel and just being there. Appreciate you guys.
Did you remember the thing Conan O'Brien?
No, I forgot all about him.
Oh man. Okay. See, I never knew Conan O'Brien had an alias called Preliminal. That's pretty cool. Eddie Von King popping in late. Better late than never, I guess, right?
Yeah, and all the lurkers out there. Our lurkers we have some of the best lurkers on this channel.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah. They're definitely dedicated.
Yes. Because we'll only show like 20 or 25 in chat. Sometimes if we're lucky, we'll get that high. But within an hour after the broadcast, it'll show 60, 70, 80 views. We got at least 30 or 40 people who watch and don't type in chat.
I've become like a huge lurker here lately in a lot of the what did I almost call you? In Dan's show. I've been watching a lot of his shows, but I don't comment a lot of times anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't. Last night I just put it on and listened. Yeah. I had no interest in the chat. I'm not saying that there's times when I feel chatty, but there's times when I just want to listen to what they got to say. I don't really feel like chatting.
Yeah. Sometimes you just, you kick your shoes off and you just want to lay down and relax, and you don't really feel like getting to your computer. Well, in your case, you got your phone right there, so there's Really,
but I still gotta squint and look at it.
time to get them glasses rearranged, or maybe get some glasses.
I got them, and they're rearranged, but you can only rearrange so much, you know.
Yeah, I sat on my glasses earlier, and now everything I look at is crooked.
Okay.
So,
Well, you heard about the guy that had that chainsaw accident last weekend, right?
chainsaw accident?
Yeah, he
No.
cut off his whole left side of his body. But don't worry, he's all right now.
Oh man, what was? Stick with rope jokes. I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah, I think you get all knotted up when you do the other ones. No, but man, I'll tell you, you reminded me of another joke, and yeah, you reminded me of another joke. It had to do with this guy was dating two girls, and one of them was, I think they were both. I think one of them was one-legged, and I think one was didn't have a foot or something like that. And the one-legged one was called, or the one with the one foot was called Eileen, and the other one was called IHOP. So
The real question is, which one of them likes pancakes?
right. I'll tell you what, man. I used to like pancakes a lot, but then they get me too full. Seems like you eat them and it's just like.
Well, pancakes are one of those things. Like when you first start eating them, they're so amazing and warm, and the syrup and everything's so good. But by the time you get to like the last bite, you're like, ugh, I don't even want any more pancake.
Yeah, and they have those all-you-can-eat pancakes over at Steak and Shake, and me and my wife tried it once or twice, and I'm like, man, I can't do this. You get one order, and they give you like a bunch of pancakes in one order, and after one order, I'm just like, I don't want any more. Take it away.
Well, that's why they do it with pancakes. They don't do it with crab legs.
Right. Well, I have gotten all-you-can-eat crab legs before at a Chinese restaurant, though.
Oh yeah, but they're real strict on like how many you could take, and they're hawking you at the crab leg.
I don't know. The one place I go to, they don't have plate monitors or anything like that.
Oh, okay, they're not hawking you. I always felt like they were looking over my shoulder, like I was taking too many.
Hey, buddy, put that one back.
Yeah, save some for the others. Yeah, because you get there and sometimes you be sitting there waiting for like a half hour for them to put out more crab legs. Because everybody's just standing there with their tongs ready to grab some.
Yep, they were standing. That's exactly how it is at this one Chinese buffet we used to go to. I'm standing up in my chair, looking over my shoulder, looking, waiting. So, all right, I'm going to run up there as soon as they dump that tray. And every time I go up there, there's almost always a line of people just standing over there like a I don't know how to, like a lion, like standing over a tray, you know?
Yeah, like it's standing over its kill. Like, "Arr, arr, get away, back off."
Oh man, that's good. Good stuff. Well, hey guys, we've almost reached the 3-hour mark, and I know Armor doesn't like them 3-hour broadcasts, so
well, you got 30 seconds to end it then. Hurry.
So Robin Neely, what did Robin Neely say here? Get people here, take all the crap legs. Two people, take them immediately. That's great.
Hey, have you ever left a Chinese restaurant with a crab leg in your leather jacket pocket?
No.
I'm going to save this one for later.
My wife, though, she used to put things in her purse. Like she would take all the little cakes and desserts and stuff like that, wrap them in a napkin and put them down in her purse. I said, hey, why don't you get you a liner? Like get you a little clean trash bag liner and just line your purse with that trash bag liner. And then you can take all the stuff off the buffet, Like she's
Right.
one of those big purses. Like I call them movie theater purses.
Well, here's what you do. You want to win some easy points. Next time you take her out to the Chinese buffet, right before you guys get out of the car to walk in, hand her a little Tupperware container you bought for her to put her little cakes in.
There you go. No, she likes her little cakes. What do they call it? Tiramisu? What's it called?
Yeah, I don't know what they're called, but they are good.
Yeah. I never had any myself, but she loves them. I like my shrimp. I like my buttered shrimp. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of buffets, generally speaking, unless they're like super upscale ones, like at the casino or something like that. But like a Golden Corral or something like that, yeah, well, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna pass because all that food just tastes like cardboard and rubber to me. And it just doesn't. It's just not my. It's not appealing to me.
Well, it depends on what time you get there too. Like I know at the Chinese place, they'll literally like leave the food out. Almost seems like they'll leave it out from lunch. So you got to be really careful at the times you get there too.
Right. But breakfast bars, now that's a whole different story.
Oh
I
man,
am a sucker for a good breakfast bar.
I tell you what, this one hotel we stayed at one time, they had a really good breakfast bar. They had eggs, sausage, bacon, um, donuts. They had all kinds of really, really good stuff. Yeah, hash browns, all of that stuff, man. It was awesome. And I got to admit, man, I made a total pig out of myself at that. No,
Yeah, well, that all of a sudden gluttony becomes en vogue, at that exact moment.
oh,
Like
yeah.
any other time, I feel very self conscious about gluttonous behavior. But when I go to the breakfast bar, I have no shame.
I hear you, man. Oh man, I miss this. Sitting here talking about buffets. No, but I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, I'll get up there sometimes 3 times, and I don't know if you're allowed to do that or not. But the heck with it, I paid my money for it. The only thing is, you have to get up really early to hit those breakfast bars. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's the whole point of breakfast. You can't show up at lunchtime. I think they switched it over like around 10 a.m., don't they? 10 or 11?
Well, some of those places you can, but yeah, the hotels, no, you got to get there.
Oh, yeah, the hotels, you got to be there like at 8 a.m.
Yeah, they serve from, I think they serve from 7 to about 10. Yeah, about 10.
Yeah. Well, we went over 3 hours, so I guess Armor is going to. Well, are you still there, Armor?
Still hanging.
Okay.
All right.
I thought maybe he had a breakfast bar story he wanted to share.
Yeah, what is your take on buffets and breakfast bars, Captain?
I'm never up early enough for breakfast bars, but I do love them when I am up early enough.
Kind of like the.
Love buffets. We got a couple awesome buffets around here. I never do the Chinese buffets much, but yeah, we got some other buffets. We got like what's that one called? Sirloin something. Something buffet. It's awesome.
Yeah, you guys have Golden Corrals where you live?
The closest one's a couple hours away, but it's good. I love the Golden Corral myself.
Okay.
But closest one's a couple hours.
Yeah, I think it.
too
I think
often.
I've been once or twice and not been like totally let down, but more often than not, the ones by my house just seemed really lackluster.
Yeah, I've noticed from driving around and traveling. It definitely depends. Some are good, some are bad. Luckily,
Yeah,
we got a good.
it really about boils down to who runs the establishment and the people who
Right.
work there, how much effort they put into the making it good.
Well, you know what really grinds my gears is when you get over there to get a steak and you get up there and underneath those lights, the steaks look really good. And you say, give me a medium rare. I always get medium rare, but, and then you get it to your plate and you get it from you get to your table with it and you sit down with it and say, man, this thing didn't look as good as it did under those lights.
See the
Yeah, they use a special.
prime sirloin buffet. They cook your steak right to order. The waitress will take your order. You hit the buffet, and then she'll come around. Would you like a steak or two? And you say, "Yep, I want it well done, whatever." And then they'll cook your steak to order, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of remember Bonanza? Like we used to have a Bonanza here. They used to do
Yeah,
it the same way, cook to order.
yeah, same here. We had a Bonanza. That was my grandma's favorite restaurant, so we went at least once a month.
Yeah. And also there was a Ponderosa restaurant too. Do you remember that? Did you have one
Oh
of those?
yeah,
I miss Ponderosa. They were one of my favorite lunch buffets.
yeah. When I was in high school, my girlfriend worked at a Ponderosa,
Oh,
so
really?
I would be sitting there in the parking lot for like a half hour waiting for her to get off work, and wondering what she was going to bring out for me because she would always bring out something random. It wasn't always steak. Sometimes it was just a couple baked potatoes and something off the bar or whatever random, but it was always good, whatever it was, and I wasn't picky. It was free food.
Yeah. Hey, that sounds good. Well, hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and call my final words that
Yeah. I don't believe it.
My final thoughts is that everyone have a good night and everyone thanks for tuning in and listening and I'm glad to have you back, Saji. It's been a really good broadcast, I think.
Well, thank you. It's glad to be back. And same final thoughts. I'm just really, with Thanksgiving just happened. What I'm thankful for has really been on my mind lately, and this doing this podcast here with you guys is definitely at the top of the list. So I wouldn't say it's at the very top, but it's way up there.
Well, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you feel that way because we missed you, man. But so anyway, with that being said, Armor, your final thoughts?
I give my final thoughts a long time ago when we said goodbye the first time.
Oh.
You mean 3 goodbyes ago?
Yeah.
Well, they could have changed since then.
They're basically the same. Glad to have said back and keep Raven in her prayers till she turns.
All right.
And love all the audience. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, with that being said, I'll just say thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next Shifty Sunday. I'm trying to find the closing here. But good night, everybody.
Good night.
Let's see here. Open. Lost my place. Oh, there we go. Hit Windows. And then when
S is for the S's that have disappeared.
Whoops. Wait. I got to put it on screen. I forgot. Well, I guess I don't have to put it on screen. Yeah, you guys would be okay just from listening to it.
H is for house. It's changed, my dear. I is for incredible, lots of changes to our edibles. F is freaky cause Mandela effects are all the buzz. And T is for time that's running fast. Y is for your memories, hope they last. If it's not a fun day, won't you join me Shifty Sunday? Shifty Sunday for Emmys. Shifty Sunday, if you please.
Can't believe we're